Psalm 77, remembering God's faithfulness in the storm. Psalm 77, attributed to Asaph and directed to Jeduthun, is a profound expression of spiritual struggle and renewal. It captures the emotional journey of a believer grappling with distress, doubt, and the silence of God, ultimately finding solace and strength in the remembrance of God's redemptive acts. The psalm opens with an intense personal cry, "I cried out to God with my voice, and He gave ear to me." This sets the tone for an intimate and honest lament. Asaph speaks of a day of trouble when his soul was so overwhelmed that even the memory of God brought him no immediate comfort. His hands were outstretched in the night, a gesture of persistent prayer, but comfort did not come. Rather than easing his distress, remembering God seemed to intensify his anguish, leaving him feeling isolated and spiritually exhausted. In the next few verses, Asaph vividly describes his insomnia and emotional paralysis. He cannot sleep or even find words to articulate his sorrow. He turns to the past, remembering the days of old, a time when he presumably experienced God's presence and favor more clearly. He recalls songs in the night and begins to meditate within his heart, making a diligent search for understanding. These verses mark a reflective pause in the psalm, where Asaph begins the process of wrestling with his perception of God's silence and distance. A series of rhetorical questions then conveys the depth of Asaph's inner turmoil. He asks, "Will the Lord cast off forever? Will He be favorable no more?" These questions reflect not a loss of faith but a crisis within it. The psalmist wonders if God's mercy has ended, if His promises have failed, or if He has withheld His compassion in anger. This raw honesty is one of the psalm's most powerful aspects. It gives voice to the kind of desperate questioning that often accompanies seasons of suffering. Verse 10 marks a pivotal turning point. "This is my anguish, but I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High." Here, Asaph makes a conscious choice to shift his focus from his present suffering to the past acts of God's power and faithfulness. Rather than letting his despair define his understanding of God, he turns to memory as a source of hope. He recalls God's works, meditates on them, and speaks of them, an intentional act of faith that begins to restore his confidence. The following verses exalt God's uniqueness, holiness, and power. "Your way, O God, is in the sanctuary. Who is so great a God as our God?" Asaph celebrates God as the one who performs wonders, who has shown His strength among the nations, and who redeemed His people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. This portion of the psalm moves from personal lament to communal memory, recalling the defining moment of Israel's history, the Exodus. The psalm concludes with a majestic poetic description of the parting of the Red Sea. Nature itself is depicted as trembling at the presence of God. The waters see Him and are afraid, the clouds pour out water, thunder and lightning fill the skies, and the earth shakes. These vivid images emphasize God's absolute power over creation and His mysterious, awe-inspiring ways. Verse 19 underscores this mystery. "Your way was in the sea, your path in the great waters, and your footsteps were not known." God's guidance is real but not always visible. Finally, the psalm closes with a tender image of God's leadership. "You led your people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron." Despite the fear and chaos, God shepherds His people, using human leaders to guide them with divine care. Psalm 77 is a powerful testament to the value of remembering God's faithfulness in times of spiritual crisis. It does not minimize pain or pretend that faith makes suffering disappear. Instead, it models a path through despair by turning the heart and mind back to the foundational truths of God's character and actions. Through memory, meditation, and worship, the psalmist moves from despair to renewed trust. This ancient prayer continues to resonate with modern readers who, in their own moments of silence and sorrow, seek reassurance in the enduring works and presence of God.
Psalm 77. To the chief musician, to Jeduthun, a psalm of Asaph. I cried out to God with my voice, to God with my voice, and He gave ear to me. In the day of my trouble I sought the Lord. My hand was stretched out in the night without ceasing. My soul refused to be comforted. I remembered God and was troubled. I complained, and my spirit was overwhelmed. Selah. You hold my eyelids open. I am so troubled that I cannot speak. I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. I call to remembrance my song in the night. I meditate within my heart, and my spirit makes diligent search. Will the Lord cast off forever? And will he be favorable no more? Has his mercy ceased forever? Has his promise failed forevermore? Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has he in anger shut up his tender mercies? Selah. And I said, This is my anguish, but I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. I will remember the works of the Lord. Surely I will remember your wonders of old. I will also meditate in all your work, and talk of your deeds. Your way, O God, is in the sanctuary. Who is so great a God as our God? You are the God who does wonders. You have declared your strength among the peoples. You have with your arm redeemed your people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. Selah. The waters saw you, O God. The waters saw you. They were afraid. The depths also trembled. The clouds poured out water, the skies sent out a sound, your arrows also flashed about. The voice of your thunder was in the whirlwind. The lightnings lit up the world, the earth trembled and shook. Your way was in the sea, your path in the great waters, and your footsteps were not known. You led your people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron.